Another really simple endpoint is going to be the ability to show a product. So really simply, we can just add into our controller here the show method. We're going to be using root model binding. Remember, we already added that into our model. So we're going to get a product based on its slug into the URL, and that will go ahead and give us what we need here. And then what we could do is just go ahead and return a new product index resource and then just pass the product into here. That would work and we would have that available. So for example, let's just go ahead and say Nike Air Max, send that across, and we get back the data that we expect. So we already know that that works, but like I said earlier, we kind of want to differentiate the index stuff to the actual show stuff. Let's just imagine that inside of the show endpoint, we wanted to show lots of other information about the product. Well, if we added that to product index resource, we're also going to see that inside of our index as well. And we're going to end up with a huge amount of data in the index, which we're potentially not going to use. So what I do is just create a standard product resource, which extends the product index resource. And you can tweak this depending on how you like this to work, but this is what I tend to do. So let's go ahead and make another resource in here, and let's just call this product resource. And once we go ahead and open this up, so let's come over to our resources here. Rather than extend the JSON resource, we're going to extend the product index resource. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take parent to array, passing in the request, and we're going to do an array merge on this. So we merge that with any additional data we need inside of here. So for example, let's just say variations and just set that to an empty array just for now. So what we can now do is use this product resource, adding additional information in only on a request to a single item. We come over to the standard products endpoint. This doesn't show that kind of information. So just a really simple, extension of that original resource, just to mean we're not outputting too much data. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's just go ahead and write out a test for this. So let's make a test here called product show test. Again, like I said earlier, the pattern I use is the thing that we're testing, the action that we're testing, and then of course test just on the end of that. So let's open up product show test and think about what we need to do. So the first one is test it fails if a product can't be found. Now the reason I like these kind of tests is if we switch over how we grab a product out of the database, then this is a really important test to include. So really simply, I'm just going to say, go ahead and get API products and then something that we know doesn't exist. And we're just going to assert that the status is 404. Really, really straightforward. So let's run PHP unit tests feature products, and sure enough, we get that test passing. The next one is just testing that it shows the product that we have specified. So test it shows a product. Really simple. I just like to keep these tests really, really nice and clean. So let's go ahead and create a product out here with our factory, like so. And all we need to do is make a request now to that slug. So we just say product slug. And in here, we just want to assert again JSON fragment. I tend to use this one a lot. And we just want to check that the ID is in there for the product ID. Okay, so let's go ahead and rerun that test. And it doesn't look like product is found, of course. So let's just pull that in. And there we go. Sure enough, that passes. So just a really simple endpoint with a different resource this time, but we can now grab a list of products and we can show a product. And that means that we can go over and actually look at this on the front end.